The series begins in the middle of the night on a fishing boat out at sea, where the fishermen have managed to catch a huge haul, but suddenly they sense something massive moving beneath the pile of fish they caught, something they can't see clearly until a terrifyingly fast creature bursts out and attacks them. Fisherman Ted is brutally wounded with a deep gash across his stomach, so the captain immediately contacts the military's special forces to send a helicopter to rescue Ted, telling them they were attacked by a strange creature. The remaining fishermen manage to trap the creature inside a locked crate on the ship, and the military helicopter arrives as fast as possible. The helicopter lands and Ted is rushed inside for treatment. While the creature is removed from the crate and it turned part of town, Ben appears on a small boat bringing in a wounded sea lion. He asks his friends for help, and we learn that Ben and his girlfriend Maddie work together as marine biologists, rescuing animals. Later that night, Ben tells him what happened to Ted and about the strange creature they couldn't fully see because the military took it. Ben laughs it off and insists they must have imagined it, saying it was probably just a big shark, but the fear in their eyes shows they know something far worse attacked them. Ben's family is revealed to be one of the foundings attend a beach party, where Ben notices Xander sitting alone looking devastated. Ben sits with him, trying to convince 95% unexplored, and anything could be down there. At that same moment, a child is swimming in the water and suddenly feels something strange, panics, and tries to swim back, only for a dead shark to float up beside him, torn apart. Ben jumps into the water to save the kid and sees the shark's body chewed and ripped open. Ben, Xander, and Maddie at night. Ben drives home and suddenly sees a strange girl standing in the middle of the road completely naked. He rushes out to help her, gives her his t-shirt, and takes her home. Inside, he tries to talk to her, but she doesn't say a word, just bring around town. Meanwhile, the girl walks through the streets until she spots a shop decorated with mermaid sculptures. The shop owner, Mrs. Helen, invites people inside to see her mermaid figurines. The strange Ben spots them from a distance, but before he reaches them, the girl runs away. Ben asks Helen who the girl was, but Helen denies seeing anyone. The girl continues wandering until she reaches the fishing docks, remembering being trapped. The girl repeats the name after hearing the cartoon and says her name is Rin. Suddenly, she notices a toy helicopter assault her. Rin snaps and attacks him, killing him instantly, then steps out of the car with his blood all over her jacket. She removes it and throws it away. Moments later, she finds a pair of shoes on the street, puts them on, and keeps walking until she reaches the far end of the shore, right where Maddie and Ben work. Maddie is giving a tour to a group of school kids, showing them the marine animals and letting them interact with the rescued sea lion. Suddenly, Rin appears in front of the sea lion, and the animal instantly panics and lets out a terrifying sound. Set, Rin collapses to the ground, crawling toward the water in severe pain. She throws herself into the sea, tears off her clothes, and transforms back into a mermaid. Ben hears a splash and quickly checks the underwater camera, only to see Rin swimming in her true form right before his eyes. Shocked, he dives in to verify what he saw, but Rin attacks him and slashes him before he barely escapes. Injured and terrified, he goes straight to sea because she sees him as prey underwater. But humans don't understand that. She urges him to ask his family about the mass slaughter his ancestors committed against the mermaids, explaining that he inherited his family's bloody legacy of hunting them. Ben is shaken, unable to believe the creatures he thought were only myths truly exist. Realizing Xander was right, Helen's words about his family's violent past. And, at the last second, he pushes the weapon away, saving Rin. Xander the military so they can get Ted back. Suddenly, they sense movement under the boat, and Ben dives into the water, thinking it's Rin, but instead finds a strange device tangled in the boat's propeller. It emits a sound identical to the mermaid. Meanwhile, Rin emerges from the sea again, naked and cold. She steals clothes from a drying line outside a house, and when the owner catches her, she yells. Rin instinctively grabs a metal rod and hurls it at her with terrifying strength. The rod embeds itself deep into a wooden post. The woman is so frightened, she backs away, letting Rin take whatever she wants. Rin then heads to Ben's house but doesn't find him, so she goes to Helen's shop instead. The moment Helen sees her, she quickly locks the door and tries communicating with her. Rin picks hands. Rin is searching for another mermaid. Helen begins teaching her words she can use to express herself. Meanwhile, Maddie grows worried about Ben and goes to his house, finding him injured and exhausted. Ben tells her he needs to show her something important. They return to the Marine Center, where Ben plays back the underwater sneaks into Xander's house while he's gone and takes the device. He brings it to Helen's place, where Helen is hiding Rin and still hesitant to trust Ben or Maddie. Ben insists he's nothing like his family and truly wants to help. He turns on the device, and the mermaid-like distress call echoes through the room. Rin, thinking it's real, bursts out in panic, ready to attack. But Helen and Ben try to explain that it's only a machine. but Rin keeps holding on to the device as if it's her only hope. Suddenly, she sees a magazine with drawings of mermaids on the cover and the word sisters written on it. She points at the picture of the two mermaid sisters, trying desperately to explain something. Helen realizes that Rin is searching for her sister. Rin then walks with Ben and Maddie as they head to Xander, hoping to learn where Ted is being kept so they can reach the mermaid's location. But Xander explodes at Ben when he finds out Ben took the device without telling him and demands he return it immediately. Xander notices Rin and asks who she is, but Ben and Maddie quickly lie, saying she's a friend visiting from out of town to protect her. Ben hands him the device and leaves with Rin and Maddie. Rin goes back to Helen's place, and afterward, they all head to Maddie's house, which also happens to be the sheriff's home. Meanwhile, the sheriff is working a crime scene on the road, the same road where Rin killed the man who tried to assault her. The woman whose clothes Rin stole is there, telling the sheriff what happened, but he doesn't care, since it sounds like just a case of stolen clothing, until he realizes the force of the impact on the pole, the massive dent left behind. That kind of strength would require a suspect far more dangerous than a thief. After the sheriff finishes his investigation, he returns home, and Maddie and Ben overhear him. Ted wakes up and repeatedly tries talking to the nurse, only to discover she sedates him every time he speaks to them and must not hurt anyone. At that same time, Ted finally manages to steal the nurse's phone and sends Xander a message asking for help. Xander and his friend track down the nurse's number, find her home address, and decide to follow her to locate Ted. Ben and Maddie decide to take Rin to the lab. There, they record a video while running tests on her to understand how different she is from humans. The results show extremely high intelligence and unusually closer than ever to finding Ted and Rin's sister. Meanwhile, in the military lab, the lead scientist, Decker, continues experimenting on Rin's sister. He feels guilty about the endless tests and the samples he's taking. He studies how mermaid DNA affects other organisms and what advantages humans could gain from it. He predicts that any animal injected with mermaid DNA would die quickly, until a paralyzed mouse injected with the DNA suddenly regains movement and walks perfectly. Decker is shocked and informs the admiral overseeing the entire project. Back with Rin, she wanders away and leaves with him. Shortly after, Maddie and Ben realize Rin is missing and begin searching everywhere. At the road crime scene, the sheriff retraces the killer's steps and finds Rin's discarded jacket. He visits the woman whose clothes were her, and at the same time, Ben and Maddie discover where Rin is after seeing a photo of her with Jerry, and begins suspecting Ted, though she's unsure because he's always sedated. In the same facility, Dr. Decker realizes to take over sample extraction himself, even if it means going against the Admiral's orders to keep her alive. As he walks away, the mermaid suddenly opens her eyes, revealing she was pretending the entire time. Back at the party, Maddie finally finds Rin, just as Rin collapses into the swimming pool. Maddie panics, terrified Rin's body will transform in front of everyone, but Rin's body stays human as she climbs out easily. Maddie realizes the water isn't ocean water, which means Rin only transforms in the open sea. Suddenly, the police arrive, so Maddie grabs Rin and hides with her in one of the hotel rooms. Outside, the police question Ben about Rin's photo, but he denies knowing her. Inside, finally understanding, Ben returns, and after the police leave, they all head home. They let Rin sleep in their room, crying rapidly from being out of the ocean too long. If it continues, she'll suffocate and die. They try to convince her to return to the sea. They give her a necklace with a tracking device so they can monitor her location. Meanwhile, Ted and Rin's sister are driving through the forest when Ted finds the nurse's phone and calls Xander, telling him where he is. Ben hears the news and races with Maddie to reach Ted. Rin insists on coming, even though she can barely breathe. Ben and Maddie find Ted's car and pull him out just in time. He's bleeding heavily and barely conscious. Rin stays in the car, struggling to breathe. Suddenly, she sees her sister standing in the woods. Rin immediately runs after her, pushing through the forest until they both reach the ocean. The two sisters finally reunite, dive into the water together, and disappear beneath the waves. Ben and Maddie see them and are relieved they managed to bring the sisters back together. They return home while Xander takes Ted to a private clinic so the military won't find him. Ben helps them locate a doctor who won't ask questions. Later, Ben and Maddie check Rin's movements through the tracker. She's swimming at incredible speed until suddenly the signal cuts out completely. Later, Xander and Ben see breaking news. The military lab where Ted was held has been burned to the ground. Ted then travels to an island in Alaska to hide from the military, who are now hunting him. Everyone begins returning to their normal lives after Rin disappears and Ted leaves town. A month later, fishermen find a massive number of dead fish floating on the surface of the water, shocking everyone. No one understands what's happening. Ben decides to work at his family's company as an environmental consultant, hoping to find a safer method of fishing, defishing. areas normally protected because overfishing there could destroy the marine ecosystem completely. The real how they can protect the mermaids and prevent the collapse of marine life. Suddenly, Rin's tracking device activates in the lab. Now calls herself Donna, steal t-shirts to wear. A woman sees them and threatens to call the police. Donna insists, unlike Donna, who distrusts them and prepares to attack. Helen arrives after learning the mermaids are Maddie for help, explaining that the mermaids can't find food because fishermen are taking everything, leaving the ocean empty. Ben and Maddie promise to help however they can. Ben tries using his influence in his father's company to reach the higher-ups. That night, Donna wanders the streets starving. She discovers a warehouse filled with frozen fish and devours them. A worker spots her and tries to stop her, but Donna attacks him. Before she kills him, he manages herself. She walks through areas heavy with seafood until she finally finds her and brings her home, telling several questions, and Ted later decides to return home once he learns the military believes he knows nothing. Back in town, it's Dr. Decker searching for her. Donna escapes immediately and returns to Helen. The next day, Rin goes in they need to return to the ocean, but Rin insists it's no longer safe. They will be hunted there. She asks her sister to trust Ben and Maddie because they genuinely want to help. Donna snaps, saying she saw Ben's photo in the while at the police station. The detective begins investigating Donna and Rin after noticing similarities in the report. Arrives to meet his friends, including Ted, who tells him about the questions Dr. Decker asked, one of them being, report his wheelchair-bound mother, and Maddie accompanies him. There, he sees Dr. Relsna. Decker speaking with Ben's father, hoping to learn where the mermaid is. Ben interrupts him, saying he knows exactly why Decker is searching, and compares them. Explains that the military has gathered all the region's fish near their ships as bait. Once the mermaids approach, they will capture them, and it's all happening tonight. Ben and Maddie immediately call Rin, begging her not to. Decker arrives and finally sees Rin and Donna, realizing both are mermaids. He corners them, and Rin attacks, ready to kill him. Ben and Maddie stop her, but she can't understand. Should only destroy the evil ones, not the innocent. Donna grows furious, accusing Rin of choosing humans over her own sister, then storms off toward the ocean. Just before she dives in, Xander spots her transforming into a dive into the sea to save her sister from the military, but the police appear behind her and arrest her, taking her to the station. Maddie, still at the lab, tracks the military ship's coordinates and updates Ben and Xander, who are already on the fishing boat. They reach the location, but the military ship is dead in the water, completely abandoned. Blood is splattered across the deck. Terrified, Xander's father urges them to leave immediately. Suddenly, their engine dies and Ben loses contact with Maddie. At the police station, Rin is interrogated. The sheriff asks her about the man she killed and insists someone must have helped her. She misunderstands most of his questions and is speechless, realizing that the stories he heard as a child were true. Overwhelmed, he believes them instantly and decides to help, freeing both Maddie and Rin. They rush back to the lab and try to reach Ben. Rin senses Donna may kill him without hesitation. Meanwhile, on the stalled boat, Xander's father tries repairing the engine when a group of mermaids suddenly attacks. From the ocean, spears flying, handcrafted weapons made clearly by the mermaids. Among them is Donna and a male merman. The men try defending themselves and manage to trap one attacker inside a storage room. Then Donna steps directly in front of Ted. Because he heard her song in the military lab, he becomes entranced again, walking toward her in a daze. His friends try pulling him back, and one of them fires a flare into the sky, startling Donna. Terrified by the bright light, she dives deep into the water and disappears. The group celebrates, thinking they managed to trap one of the merfolk, until they realize he has broken down the door and escaped. They catch sight of his tail just as he shifts into human form. Suddenly, Xander's father screams. The male merman stabs him and slips back into the ocean. Xander collapses in shock, watching his father die in front of him. They get the engine running again and decide to lower Xander's father's body into the sea, knowing they can't tell the police anything. Ben manages to contact Maddie and assures her he's safe. The next day, Xander's father's funeral takes place. Rin tries to understand the meaning of the ceremony. The Black Cloak tries to explain that he was protecting her and that Rin is not like the others, but Xander breaks down. Meanwhile, Maddie brings Xander back to his boat, where he insists he'll sleep. She reassures him that Rin is together. That night, Donna emerges on the shore with a male and female mermaid, intent on reclaiming Rin. The next morning, Donna and the others steal clothes from tourists and walk through town searching for her. They reach Helen's shop and threaten her for information. Helen holds her ground and denies knowing anything. She immediately calls Ben, warning him that Donna and the merfolk are loose in town. The sheriff receives a report of 3 dangerous individuals in the city. He heads out to investigate, with Maddie joining him. Donna and her group reach Ben's house, and Rin decides not to fight. She agrees to go with them, but soon she realizes they actually came to kill her. Donna, shocked, switches sides and protects her sister. Ben drives them away and demands to know why their own people want them dead. Rin explains the ancient story. A mermaid once fell in love with a human and bore him a child. But the child was not fully human, so the man took the baby to the forest and killed it. The mermaid fled back to the ocean in grief, but the human could not accept losing her. He gathered a group of men, hunted down the mermaids in the sea, and slaughtered many of them. Since then, merfolk believe humans are the ultimate threat. Any mermaid who gets close to a human must be killed to protect the tribe. Ben grows terrified for Rin and realizes he's fallen deeply in love with her. Donna notices the bond forming between them and fears for her sister's safety. Rin and Donna decide the only way to survive is to eliminate the remaining merfolk who want them dead. They go to the lab with Ben and Maddie. Xander arrives as soon as he learns the male merman who killed his father is there. He's armed with a harpoon to work together to eliminate the others. They prepare to use the mermaid's own song against them. Xander and Ben hide with their weapons, ready to strike. Meanwhile, the male and female merfolk go to Helen's shop and steal her spears. The mermaids arrive at the lab, but the female spots Ben and Xander and reacts instantly. She grabs Rin and drags her away. The male mermaid hurls spears at Ben and Xander. The sheriff arrives, but is struck in the leg by a spear. Maddie rushes to help her father after hearing the chaos on the radio. Rin manages to overpower the female mermaid. Suddenly, the male kneels, a sign that Rin has now become the dominant female, having defeated the previous one. Xander arrives, ready to kill the male mermaid who murdered his father. The sheriff and Ben try desperately to stop him, but Xander fires. At the last second, Ben pushes his arm. The shot hits Donna instead. Rin collapses in tears, watching her sister die in her arms. She begs the remaining merfolk to go home, and they carry Donna to Helen's house. Ambulances and police cars arrive, and the sheriff lies to his colleagues, claiming a deer attacked him, refusing to reveal the truth to protect Rin and Donna. Meanwhile, Ben and Maddie's relationship continues to fall apart, and they slowly begin drifting away from each other. Xander is arrested for a day until he calms down. Donna's condition worsens. She is bleeding heavily. As Donna's life slips away, Ben reluctantly calls Decker back. Decker returns with the sample he took from Donna in the military lab and injects it into her, hoping it will save her. He asks her to sing the same song she sang before, but Donna refuses. Frustrated and desperate, Decker argues with Ben, screaming that he's losing his mind. But Donna dies, and no one can save her. Heartbroken, Decker leaves in silence. Rin breaks down completely, wanting to bury her sister, but she knows Donna can't be buried in their ocean home. Helen offers a secret burial place. She leads them deep into the woods, revealing her family's hidden graveyard. But Rin refuses to bury Donna among humans. Helen tells her they're not human. Ben and Maddie are shocked. She explains these graves belong to the land-dwelling hybrids killed in the same massacre as the sea mermaids. Helen reveals the truth. The slaughter wasn't only in the ocean, it was also against the hybrids on land. The first victim was Charles Pownall's daughter, Ben's ancestor. Rin asks if Charles killed his own daughter, but Helen explains he didn't. His daughter was born deformed, neither fully human nor mermaid. Knowing no human doctor could help, they took her into the forest to the hybrid clan, the group known as the Hilda. They taught her to control her transformations, and she lived for many years. Helen reveals she is the last survivor of that bloodline. Ben is stunned to learn he and Helen are related. Rin finally agrees to bury Donna there. Afterward, Ben confronts his father for hiding the family's true history. His father apologizes, but refuses to believe mermaids are real, saying Ben's grandfather was insane and only wanted to protect the family's reputation. The sheriff receives a report. A body has washed ashore. It's Dr. Decker. He took his own life. At the cafe, Rin sits with Helen and Maddie, telling them about the song she once sang to Ben. Maddie asks Helen what the song really means. Helen explains it triggers a powerful obsession in whoever hears it. Suddenly, Maddie gets a call from her father, confirming Decker's death, and they realize he likely killed himself because he couldn't resist the pull of the song. Rin and Maddie panic and search everywhere for Ben. Ben, meanwhile, is alone in the middle of the ocean. He hears Rin's voice echoing through the water. Convinced she's calling him, he jumps in, diving deeper and deeper until he blacks out. At the last second, Rin saves him and insists she was never in the ocean. He only imagined it. Back in town, Maddie confronts Ben. She tells him their relationship is falling apart.